in it.
Nope. It's an extra.
Oh,
That's
Direct, and he's in
I
the
said,
middle.
wait a minute, I got one.
I thought, I've got to see this.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw congratulations 911.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's exciting.
now you call Papa.
Away from him being old.
Definitely call you an
Just
old
means
man.
you're old. I'm
He's
pretty old for
happy.
just now becoming your grandpa, yes.
Oh, no.
Mhm.
Don't say that.
Well, I'm just happy it was a boy. Because,
You know what? You would have been tickled if it was a girl.
well, yeah, but this is the only opportunity to pass on my name.
Yes, there.
You can be wherever. You wherever you want. Have a seat.
See,
Ball.
Wesley's the only one that can pass on our
this chair.
thing.
We know you did.
We got time.
I
All
guess
stand for the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, roll call. Tim.
Here.
Brad.
Here.
And myself here. We have a motion to adopt the agenda.
before that, sorry, we need to add the property to 518 East Second.
Where
Wherever you guys
other continuing business probably.
necessary. There you go.
I think two. You have a motion for that with the addition.
I'll move to approve the addition.
I'll second it.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor?
And before we do anything on the minutes, I would like to add just a little bit to make darn sure we've got it clear. On the part where we were talking about the dock, I can't find it right now, but I'll just tell you the gist of it.
Okay.
The part where you put something about the handrail
Yes.
being, if you could word it in a manner that the whole entire structure meets
Okay.
the height requirement. I want somebody to think, okay, well, the handrail has to meet it, but the shed I put on top does not.
Okay.
You know, whatever. I just want to make sure that
Yes.
it's absolutely clear in black and white. The whole entire structure has to meet the guideline. Thank you. And with that correction, I move to approve.
Hold on.
Okay.
When I asked Todd about looking over the contract for the Prairie Window Apartments, it's kind of misleading. I know you have to paraphrase and shorten things up. But what I was asking is if he saw it before we had that special meeting and before everybody voted on that,
Okay.
which was no.
Which paragraph was
So
what's the second?
Councilmember Brett Kimball asked if City Attorney Todd Luckman looked
Oh,
over the
second page.
contract
Yeah,
of
second
the
page
selling of
top.
Prairie Wind Apartments. from the-
Okay, yeah.
The initial question is I know Todd was on vacation
Before that.
and I had contacted you and other
I had not
places
seen
and
it.
you had not seen it, but we had that special meeting and we voted to sell the apartments.
Mhm.
And I just wanted to make sure, and then we didn't have a contingency on it either, contingent on him looking at it. So I just wanted to make sure that everything was all right. So if you could somehow elaborate that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's more accurate as to what was asked and stated.
Okay.
And that, to my mind, the city attorney Todd Luckman's probably is after that would state that he did not review it before the special meeting, but had no concerns with the form of the agreement. That's what I would say.
Sounds good.
Entertain a motion to adopt with those changes, the minutes? Or do we already have? Oh yeah, moved in second. Okay, we got that on the table.
Or I'll remove if that's required.
I don't think so. Just concur with whatever Brett had said.
Thank you.
All in favor? All right, unanimous. And approval to additions to appropriation ordinance 1491.
I move to approve.
Second.
Then moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
The only thing that I wanted to clarify, did you,
It was out of the lake fund.
the money that the city gave for the fish, should that have come from the lake fund or from the general fund?
You know, we intended for it to come out the lake, but yeah.
And
What
it was-
says?
It wasn't on this one, it was on the previous one, so
Where'd it
it's
come
not
out
in,
of?
it's not in this.
That was
packet.
on last month.
Think
So
it
I
came
would
out
have
of
to
the
like I could make the adjustment if you guys wanted to, no problem. You guys let me know.
I just felt that if the city's making a donation, it comes out of general fund all the time, right?
Mm, well, if it's a lake specific donation, are
Right.
you concerned that it is coming out of the lake or concerned
Yeah, I
that it
don't
wasn't
want it
coming out of the lake?
lake. I want to use that money to buy water.
Buy water?
Mm-hmm.
Make a deal with God and make it rain or what?
How much money is in our general fund?
I should have printed off a report. I mean, the general fund is always,
Because everything for the city gets pulled out of the general fund.
it's always, there's more in the lake fund, I would.
Well, and that's the thing is you can use lake money for any lake issues. You can use general
I'm
fund
not
for
going to be very
anything.
stubborn on this. so
Correct.
Okay, well,
It's not a big deal breaker. I was just hoping to catch it before it happened, but apparently I didn't.
you know, November, December, sometimes where we've ran thin before budget authority or whatever, it's usually been in general. But
Right.
so I suggest maybe not taking out of general.
Then I move to approve.
But, okay. And,
Second.
okay, then moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, Tim,
Yes.
Brett,
Yes.
Yes.
Brad, me, yes. Motion carries. Public cons-
Peanut gallery out in the hallway here.
We came to talk to you about the property that adjoins us, see if you guys are wanting to sell it, and what you want, and what all we need to do about it.
Is that the 518?
Yeah.
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, it is on the agenda under other business. but
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I
Well,
did
we'll
not
just
have
wait
it
till
added.
whenever you want to.
Okay. Thank you. Any others? All right. Department report, Stephanie.
Don't have much. You guys have I printed off all the lake totals. So that's everything that I entered, all the stuff that Deb turned in, and the very last page is just a total of all the numbers so you can see what's. So I think she's still missing some weeks, like these last couple weeks, I think. But other than that, that should be pretty accurate.
So that last number here is
Yeah, that's the
total
total.
revenue.
Yeah.
Wow.
I should.
That was
So
the
she'll
most
be
valuable.
getting those weeks then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She said that she was just gonna wait for this last one because there's like it's so kind of far in between in the month of October that it just makes more sense rather than her writing a check every week. I said it was fine to just write one. So and
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Sally?
Okay. Been kind of quiet. Had a couple dogs I had to. That's something I want to bring up. It's been asked, if I impound a dog, do I have to wait and come through the council to get it approved to charge them the $50 for impound? According to the ordinance, the mayor or the officer can go ahead and do it. But it isn't okay.
I wouldn't think you'd have to go through the full council. I mean, that's waiting for a meeting and that's, you know, locking somebody away from their dog. I mean, that's,
And I think we've already decided that that's the penalty. I don't think we need to get back together again and say, yep, that's the penalty.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yep.
wanted to know
Sounds
that.
good to me.
I'm definitely in favor of getting the dog back to who.
Well, and that was just, they had to just come in, get it and pay the fee and get them licensed. Another thing, I want to get approved from you guys. We've got several dogs in this town that people have not come and got licensed. I want to send a letter out to them and let them know, hey, I know you've got this dog. You've had several opportunities to get them licensed. I mean,
I thought we were already doing this.
We did it, no, we did it one time when Booner was here, and that's kind of the only time.
I thought we
that we
discussed it
sent-
with you before.
I sent some out to people that I had complaints on,
Oh, okay.
not nobody that hasn't had complaints. We did send letters out to those or some that I've had issues with. But I know that there's some other people around that, and Stephanie and I kind of talked about it, and we thought about putting it on Facebook, putting a reminder. But I also think, well, I kind of done that when I set up at the farmer's market. We had the rabies clinic.
We
And that-
posted that on Esford's Watch every time.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can do that again
Send them.
and just send the letters. I mean,
Send them.
and that. Because some of them I've talked to face already and asked them to get them licensed. And I've even told them, I've on me. You can't come up here when Stephanie's here. Give me a buzz. Catch me. I'll get with you. And that. And some of them are just kind of ignoring it. Yeah, so that's why I thought about start sending letters out. And then if they're not, I guess if they don't respond, start tacking a little extra fee on it. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know
I
what
don't know how
mechanism
else
we
we
have to
can
do
do that to
that.
get them licensed, Todd. What else can I do? Can I write
Well,
a ticket for that?
Yeah. I mean, that's ultimately the only thing you can,
Only thing with writing them a ticket, then do they have to come through the whole court process?
well, they can get it, usually if they get the dog registered after that, then, I mean, you guys I gotta make a decision whether or not that's appropriate. If there's another charge that's like, usually the way I do it, registration charge in like a bite or a dog at large, I say, okay, for just a minor fee, and you get registered, do that, and I won't penalize you big on that, but you are going to pay the full boat on the other one. So I kind of throw that to the side. But if we're just going to start writing them, what I would say is probably the policy has to be that you're going to do a number of them at once, so that when we're here, if
Yeah.
I actually have to come to court, the judge has to come to court,
And they go.
and then they all have to pay a fine. They all have to pay, and the fine is really small too. So, meaning, I can't remember what it is, but it's not. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like $10 or
Right.
$25 at most.
How do you raise that?
Well, you got to have multiple violations. I think it's the only thing that raised it, or the ordinance has to be changed. So I don't remember on the ordinance side what the penalty is.
Well, really, I don't know. The only penalty fee I see in here, anything about fees is at large for impoundment, but I don't
Well, the
see.
registration. There's a registration.
With those kind of tickets, is there typically court cost tacked onto that where, you can, I mean, like you get a $10 speeding ticket and $100 court costs, or?
It's not
Convenience fee.
$100. It's like 20 or something. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's, okay.
There's the $2 fee.
That really doesn't add up to like
25.
Cooper at that.
Yep, that's what, $25 fine.
Not that I'm wanting to ding a lot of people
Well, that's
with
just, yeah.
fines. I mean,
Well, I
I'd
don't
rather
know.
let her
Either.
work.
Those
I mean,
fines,
that's,
$40.
That's with me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying.
I would let them know in the letter what the repercussion would be.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I thought, send like a warning letter out. Or I could write up a ticket warning and put on their doors and say, this is, next there'll be a letter and there'll be a fine. Plus the
And there'll be a
license fee.
ticket and a fine. And like, I think that you gotta be thinking about the fact that you gotta probably get about 10 folks on this. So that
Well, yeah,
if I
that's
end
what
up-
I'm not
if I
gonna
end
do
up
one at a
in the
time.
year,
I'm gonna,
You're not getting.
I'm gonna make a list.
You might
bad spot of that.
you might have the letter contain a few of the most commonly known rules, number of animals, and stuff like that. And as far as if they have a dog that's not tagged, just
Yeah, because I had an incident. We didn't know if the dog was tagged. Turned out it was the visiting dog. Supposedly tried to attack a woman. And it wasn't one of our dogs. Wasn't even our city dog.
Hmm.
And that just brought an alarm up to a lot of people. And they started asking why is so and so licensed and so is not. So figured maybe we better get on this and make it legal for everybody. That's about it. Oh, everything else is later.
I like later.
Alright. Let's see, do we have any purchase requests? Didn't see any. Okay, cool. New city business, permit application for 288 Lake Shore.
Should be 380.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that should
Oh,
Sorry
it
about
should
that.
be what?
No problem.
388.
388.
Sorry.
You got me confused. I thought, oh no,
Sorry about that.
did I go to the wrong place?
So stairs replacement.
No. What about pictures, Sally?
I've got some here. I'm trying to pull them up. If it ever wakes up. You guys are here, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
So 4 foot wide, 30 foot long is what they're looking to do. That's
Yes.
okay. Wait for the pictures here.
And how far up were you guys going? On the sidewalk?
Well, yeah, almost to the yard.
See, this is down by the dock. I mean, whoops. This is from the dock up where he wants to replace.
So your plan is to tear all that out and just replace it?
Contractor said it'd be better to just attach the new structure on top of the concrete that's there. Take out any pieces that are loose. But he felt if we took it out, it could cause an erosion problem.
But part of this, I think we got to figure out where the city line is. Because I don't know if this is all native rock.
Like the shell base. Is that what you're trying to say?
These look like native rocks here.
That were placed there, or you mean like?
Well, that's what that's what I'm trying to decide, if they were placed there or if they were, do you know, was there rocks that looked like native rocks placed there?
Yeah, from the yard, for the first 8 or 9 feet down, yes.
And that's what you want to replace those
Well,
two?
put something over that, yes.
Just over the.
Not digging them out, just.
So then basically it would start right here, right at the rail. You're wanting permission from the rail down.
But no, also up the place where the native rocks are between, next to where I got some hospice planted. That's kind of crumbling also. Yeah, look at the picture and show you what I'm thinking.
Yeah, why don't you come over here and look at these pictures so you can show them more what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, this is where they start and the dog.
Right.
So I definitely he's got to do these. These are also, you can tell that they're settling and they're going down.
Right.
And then he wants, this is from the corner up there up.
Right, and that, because this stuff is really crumbling bad.
And really, honestly, guys, these are no steps. That's basically all level. And then up to here, this is
Yeah,
from
there'd
that
kind of be a
step.
platform here that would flatten out and it goes down from there and then go up to the yard that way. It's kind of an S
Yeah, see,
shape.
that's where he's,
Yeah, so all of this is limestone, but it's placed there. It was not originally there.
But you're gonna leave it there and pour over the top of that, is that your plan?
Well, it's gonna be wood.
Oh, okay. Even better.
Yeah, we don't.
yeah, I wasn't sure about this part here. This is up in the yard more.
Right.
This
Yeah,
is
so if you're
down.
starting right around here and be going down at
Okay.
a slight angle, there might be one step in the middle there. I mean, you'll put steps in if it's too steep. So it's kind of an S shape
Yeah,
altogether.
it kind of goes like that. Of course,
And that block thing that's there, an old well house or whatever, we're gonna try and take that out. It's just a big empty concrete.
you talking about this? This right here?
Yes.
It's a, what is it?
Well,
It's a well?
The well that is under the dock, the pipe just goes up through there. There's nothing in it.
Probably back when they used to allow the residents to suck water out of the lake for
Yeah.
their houses.
We still do that.
Right. We
We
use
know
it
it still
That's-
happens.
to water, or we use it to fill up a baby pool on the dock. That's about it.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to take pictures of that and talk to Mike on that.
I'll move to approve the walkway.
I'll second.
Right, thank you.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous.
Let's go down and take them pictures. I hope that was that before you broke your toe.
No, that was after.
We have a Dr. Fair app for $377 Lake Shore.
It's a board for board.
Okay.
They're here, so they can, um,
It's just.
And it's board for board, right?
here.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Just for the record, is there one dock per structure? Not that it matters for this case.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
the boathouse was built, I think sometime in the sixties, and there's just a lot of dry rot.
Okay.
Back when we added a step in the, around 2000, between 2008 and 2011, we got a permit, Bill Mercer came out, inspected it, and measured it. But Bill Riddiger built it, but we just got a lot of dry rot and stuff falling in.
I move to approve.
We got a second.
Dock repair,
Right.
Yep.
board for board.
Okay. Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
I don't know anything about this.
Just trees at 235 West Clinton Hills Drive. We had a
Are they here?
Who is it?
I don't,
McDaniel.
this was
do you have the paperwork? I don't have that one.
It's not, I mean,
It's not a dog.
it's not a
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah, it was a
It's a
letter.
question of, yeah. Letter addressed to the council.
Let's see, wondering if the city's insurance will pay to damage for her house or outbuilding if a tree or trees should fall on it. She's concerned about a microburst on her property and the city's property last week.
That one's different than the one where the dog. the tree-
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah,
this is
that's a
act-
different one.
probably talking about the same event.
Does she have to remove her dock as part of the solution?
Where's her dock? Is it the straight, is it the one that's straight out from the property?
I don't know.
Well,
Uh,
I mean, I can give you the short, sweet legal answer is no insurance company is going to tell you exactly what they're going to do in a general situation. I mean, they just won't. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if you want to authorize her to contact EMC and ask her questions, that's fine with me. I just don't think they're going to answer her because nobody's going to have an answer about what's going to happen if something happens.
I'd tell her then to feel free to call and ask.
Okay,
Yeah, and then she's saying, that she's having 3 to 4 trees cut down, would like the city to do the same, so that's,
She's also
we-
asking, can I cut down trees on the slope to the lake without your permission?
her property is kind of, it kind of abuts up to the house almost, close. It looks like here on the map at least, there's probably maybe 10 feet from the east side of the house to the property line.
well,
I mean, that's off kilter. That's probably more like 15, but she's talking about the slope anywhere between the dock and that property line. She shouldn't be allowed to remove trees with that.
Or even the trees up that direction.
No, not to the north either. Yeah. If there's a dead tree, I think we've said before, if there's a dead tree, then somebody needs to notify the city.
yeah,
But if you're talking about a natural event, a microburst or otherwise, that's not negligence on the part of the city that a tree gets uprooted. It's a healthy tree. It's otherwise in good shape and crashes on somebody's building. I mean, it's just not.
yeah.
And if insurance covers it, it covers it. I don't know.
All right. As for cutting down those trees on the slope, I would say, I don't know.
The answer is no.
Well, okay, that's, I mean, she's asking if she can do it without the permission. Yeah, the answer is no, but, free to seek permission depending on what the,
Yeah.
what the circumstances are, and we can consider it, but.
They're all case by case, so.
She says I have at least one that we are going to cut down.
So,
On the slope or in her property?
See, that's why I don't know if it's on her property or, but
Sounds like she needs to talk to Sally.
yeah, and I can email her too tomorrow and let her know.
okay,
I did read it as though she's intending on cutting down one of our trees.
We talked about this before. We're not liable for trees that are over top. I mean, we've been through this before.
I think the only issue is I think there's a legal issue only when somebody locates a dead tree that is in a danger to the public.
Right.
Reasonably. I
And
mean,
then
if it's-
something happens.
Yeah.
And then we're
I'm
liable.
not talking about a 3-foot pine tree that's dead. I'm talking about, a big tree. And if we know about it. So if somebody comes to us and says, this tree's dead, it's dangerous, it's gonna fall over on somebody. And they tell us, then we need to get somebody out there to look at it and maybe remove it. But absent that,
Somebody is different than something. In other words, you said somebody as in a person versus something as a house.
well, I mean, I think that I would probably, I don't think the liability matters of what it hits. If it hits the house or a person, it's still a damage. Hate to be cavalier about it. I think we should be more concerned about people getting hurt than houses. But the liability flows from the fact that it is likely negligent for a property owner to be knowingly, knowingly refuse to take action when a natural condition shows a dangerous proclivity, meaning a dead tree that could fall over and damage anything.
good.
If you need,
We have a, permit application for 47 West Flint Hills Drive.
Sorry, these pictures did not come out great. But I think I sent them on email. Maybe they were better or no, maybe not.
Here's some pictures. You can see where it up, what,
Oh,
where it landed on the dock.
I don't think that's the one that we're talking about right now.
47?
It is.
Oh,
Yeah.
It
yeah.
is?
Yeah, yeah,
It is.
we moved.
Okay.
See where it just separated it. I mean, that's natural cause to me. I mean,
they're just saying,
They
they're
just,
just saying
they
that
just
they
want-
want to replace the metal roof cover that was damaged in this with a different
Mm-hmm.
setup. I mean, that,
we don't have to them. I mean, that's, yeah.
I guess if the height, you can sort of tell in this picture what the height is. And that's just a sample picture, I guess.
Now it sounds like it is a board for board, but
This isn't board for board.
so.
This is
This isn't board for board.
a
Oh, it is.
railing. Last
Okay.
page. I think that's the picture, right?
Oh, okay.
Looks like it's from
We were
the
thinking
catalog.
of putting on, okay, yeah. Replacement metal roof. Okay, well, that's,
I think it probably would be better if you had the dimensions for that, right?
yeah, and that's kind of where I was at is, you know, if you're thinking about building this, then turning a permit that actually has this on it. I mean, you know. I mean, it's something we can consider, but
So this is different than the people from last week, right? Or-
Yeah.
yeah, is it?
Yeah.
And they have 2 docks, right?
Um,
Right, 7, yes,
Okay.
they're here,
Sitting right here.
they're here.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, they're right there.
So,
And both of them got damaged.
okay.
But is it 2 structures or 1 structure?
Two.
Is it two?
Well, 2 docks, but
one.
one habitable structure.
One house.
A house with 2 docks, is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
One house.
Okay, thanks.
So in those situations in the past, we've always allowed the board for board replacements. So we don't want, you know, dilapidation out at the lake, but after, you know, changing that structure and where you're talking about possibly doing a double decker, that's normally not something we would approve just because that's changing the structure. What we normally do is require the removal of one of those docks so it then complies with that 1 dock per structure rule. And at that point, you can turn in an application to,
But we can replace the metal.
but yeah, I would say so. That's,
I mean, if
that's
it's-
something we normally
Yeah.
do. I mean, that's,
It's all been in.
I'm one of 4 boats right now.
We just
Yeah,
can't
that's,
make it wooden.
You can put it back to the way that it was, provided that we vote for it, of course.
Yeah.
yeah.
You can put it back to the way that it was, no improvements beyond that,
Okay, so we can't put the wooden.
that
in.
part.
And
If you forfeit the second dock, then you can go crazy
Mhm.
within the
and then
confines.
before you vote on something, the tree when it fell over, I mean, it's leaving like it's gonna leave like a 10-foot hole. I mean, it's a tree. And so my question is, can we fix that so that prevent further erosion, or what do we do with
Yeah.
that? Do we leave it, or is there certain rules of what we
Well,
can put
what's the,
there?
what's the plan to secure it? Do you have anything like rock, or are you gonna put more fill dirt, or?
Well, I don't know. That's what was my question. We haven't even talked to anybody. We finally found a tree guy that's cutting it down. He hasn't got it all done yet, but, and I didn't know if we had a landscaper do that, and if there's certain rules on what you can put there and fill in, or, Stephanie said we might have to talk to the City Corps of Engineers, but we needed to ask you guys what you,
Not the city Corps of Engineers, but just typically in the past, correct me if I'm wrong, it's been, they get approval from the Corps of Engineers
Oh,
if they're
Corps of
gonna do
Engineers.
anything with the shoreline, and then they come to the council for approval, correct?
Yeah, well, it depends on what you're going to do.
Right.
If you're going to put in like, I'm just trying to say here that if you put, not that you'd be allowed to do it by the city, but if you put like big landscaping blocks or something.
no,
Yeah.
it would be more
Yeah.
like natural, like
Well,
pavers or just
yeah,
something to
the-
kind of stop the erosion.
yeah, the
That we would
ordinance
do.
right now allows basically you to plant, to put, I'm sure, put back in dirt, plant regular plants, ornamental plants, as long as you don't obstruct, build big systems where
Yeah.
people can't get along the shoreline.
Yeah, it's perfectly reasonable to fill in the hole. I mean,
Okay,
put
so
the
we-
grade
just
back
with
where
dirt
it
and
was.
Plants, that's all we can do.
Yeah, and that's
Okay.
fine.
You could plant another oak tree.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a momentous task just to move that one out.
Yeah.
It was there a long time.
Yeah.
Entertain a motion to.
With
approve
that,
the
I move
docket.
to approve the board for board, repairs of what's been damaged.
I'll second.
All right. Been moved and seconded.
And
Any
fix
further-
the metal thing.
Yeah, that's in the board for board.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, not for me.
Metal for metal, nail for nail.
Sounds like a heavy metal album.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Yes. Motion passes.
All right.
518 East Second.
You should be in your packet. What I've done is created, as was requested at the last meeting. It's a deed and a short agreement for the purchase of the property. And with the condition there that within, I think I put 6 months, that the house, the dilapidated house would be removed and the property, leveled, restored, I guess reclaimed to its original natural state. So that's pretty much the only, the rest of it was kind of just covering the waterfront, if you will, of basic stuff.
The only two questions I have, did we have anybody else show any interest?
I did not get one question about it.
And how much, I guess, debt have we incurred to this point with ad and with your services?
My guess is probably
And
outside
we
$150.
Put an ad in the paper, so then I guess we should ask them what their reasonable offer is.
Well, okay, what,
Well, we
I mean,
sure like to pay for all the debt that you guys have had on it. Don't expect you to take that, so. I've always been the thing that I let the person that owned it determine the price. It's not up to me to determine the price, so. And if it's something that we can afford, then that's great, and if it's not, well, then it's not, but we sure don't want you guys to go in the hole on it, we sure do that. And what if you want a little, whatever you guys decide.
yeah. No, I've said here before that I'm willing to get rid of it for $1 just to have that that stipulation on it. So that's one of 4 opinions at this table. But,
Can't be for $1, they'll lose one.
well, yeah, and I understand that. So I'm I can certainly get behind going for $150 or costs incurred to this point. And that's
I don't know how much the publication was.
I actually did not get that back yet, but I'm assuming
$3,000?
yeah.
I mean,
I think it's probably around $20 to $30. That's typically what an ad like that runs.
Yes.
I
Mine wasn't an hour, so it's
as long as
probably 150 would cover you guys.
yeah, as long as we're in the ballpark. I'm not wanting to get down to the nickels and dimes.
It's $151 because you wanted that $1, right?
One shiny dollar.
You don't have to return
Frame.
the blossoms or the kids that are living in it.
Those are yours.
They go with
Okay.
They come with the property.
Feel free to run those out of town.
Yeah, last night.
No, don't bring them to me.
Oh, the dog catcher for the kids.
Yeah. Agreed.
I'm trying to catch 2 in my garage now.
We have any ideas for an offer? I'd throw out 150, but that's
Well, I don't think we're gonna get into a bidding war, so that works for me.
So there's a blank on there, so you can just fill in the amount that you guys choose to offer.
so probably entertain a motion to make an offer to the Grahams for $150.
And approve the contract and the deed, if accepted. That way you guys can just shoot it out.
Missed the dollar sign. There we go. do you think, Brad?
I'm fine with it.
Well,
feel so self-conscious.
we only have one person that seems to be interested in it, so with that, I move to, what do I need to approve the contract
Well, yeah,
and accept
or make an offer to the grant, to the grants.
of 150?
150.
For all 7 lots.
7?
Isn't it 7 lots?
Is it? I thought it was,
Well, just the
One.
it says lot
I don't
lot
think it's
34.
quite 7. I think it's under 7.
I mean, it's
It's
a
like,
it's a big lot.
yeah,
Long skin.
Yep.
yeah.
It is.
yeah, it's just, I mean, it's the property at 518 East Second,
Yeah.
as described.
You want to buy it?
No, I just
Okay.
wanted to make sure that it said how much it was,
There's a description of
how much land that it was.
Yeah.
Was that in the ad?
I
I
didn't
did-
see
I
I did
it.
not put the full description
I
in the
mean, I
ad
take it
because
there
it
was
would
no
cost a
price
lot
in the
more.
ad either. Did it say just make an offer?
It said if you want, this is a lot obtained by the city. If you are interested in purchasing, please call City Hall for more details. That was what the ad was, because that's what it was directed last time.
So is that the
I hold
motion?
my motion.
Yeah. Okay. Is there a
I just
second?
want the motion to include how many lots, how much it is.
One second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? Unanimous.
So the offer is made. If you guys accept it,
Yes, sir.
then you can come talk to the clerk. She'll fill out the stuff. With it in.
It's up to you if you want to give him $1 tip.
Yeah.
There.
Gosh.
It's hanging
Cost
on-
of doing business, I guess.
It's hanging on the wall. We know where it
Wow.
came from.
Yeah.
I got a $20 tip once.
I don't want to hear about that talk.
All right, any council concerns or comments?
Where are we at with the part-time sheriff, police officer? Have we ever heard anything back from that?
The issue comes and goes, you
The
know.
issue is the sheriff isn't allowing his officers in the county to be our part-time officer, so
So
that's how it stands right now.
Yeah.
And we have nobody else wants to drive all that way for that
No.
part-time work anyway, so. I think that's what is kind of how it's
I
sitting.
can't remember the last meeting what you did. 'Cause you guys said-
In my opinion, we're offering a low wage for the job. I think we need to pony up
Yeah, I
if
think
we're
if you-
gonna
You better put it in the record.
hire.
We don't have a full one, and that's at the end of the period. So.
For what?
Last meeting, when we were discussing the bonus for the bait house operator. And Dolly said that she didn't want us to take action until the next meeting, because the next meeting is a lake meeting and it's the lake meeting. So with that, I move that, well, I'll just cut to it, that we're not gonna give a bonus to the bait house operator this year.
Motion on the floor, is there a second?
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded, any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion passes 3-0. Any other concerns or comments?
Have we put an ad in the paper about a bait house operator yet?
It was it's supposed to be running the next 2 or 3 times. I did at the same time. After that meeting,
No bites?
I haven't heard anything. No. No, sir.
FYI than anything, I did receive the title request from the title company on Prairie Land. The partnership itself needs to be reinstated with the Secretary of State to validly transfer the property. There's a number of conditions on it, mainly about confirming the obligations and the payoffs to these entities that are owed money. So that should be pretty straightforward. The other thing is that somebody's going to have to file annual reports for the partnership, probably from 2018 to the present, to get it back into good standing. I was figuring about giving that to the mayor tonight, but she's not here, so I'll send instructions shortly.
You said that's straightforward because it really doesn't sound like it, but
Well, the straightforward part of it is that since we've already got letters from the lending agencies, we're assuming that they will give payoff information to the title company, promptly and correctly. So that's what I think is straightforward. The reinstatement of the corporation requires you to fill out annual reports, which in turn requires them to have some knowledge of the finances of the business, because they're basically like a little mini tax return in some respects.
so the reporting just lapsed for that period of time. So that's what we're doing is
I'm sure it was that time frame corresponds with the time frame that the entity in Nebraska was managing it when they cut off their management and gave it over. That probably wasn't included, and the notices may have been sent to them and not sent to Dolly or anybody else. It's not a difficult fix. It's just somebody has to have financial workings for those years. Total rents earned, total expenditures, that kind of thing.
is that anything that holds up the closing at all, or is that
Well, I mean, if you won't close it unless you're in good standing.
makes sense?
So yeah, it's got to be done.
Okay, so it's not just a make sure you reform before the tax year ends kind of deal. So, okay.
Also, I wanted to inform y'all that we're trying to get some bids on what it's gonna cost to the campsites.
Cool.
If I remember right, when we ran the power, I was thinking it would have been like an additional $5 to run
Yeah,
water.
it would have been cheaper while we had the trench. That's I would have thought it would have been straightforward, but
What's your time frame on
I
it?
don't remember a price though.
I'm getting it in.
Yeah.
I'd like to have it in before next season.
Is there the funds for that? I mean, we put off the concrete work out of the lake fund because we didn't have enough to cover it. And then we didn't end up doing any concrete at all to pay out this year. Are we gonna have the funds for the
We-
2 concrete projects plus that and any other things that we have going on?
So I think we had the funds for it, but we were going to possibly exceed our budget on it. So let's see. This
Right, if
the
we
whole-
spent
the
it, we
whole
would have had no
authority
money
or
left to
authority.
go the rest of the year, right?
Yes, authority. Which we have to amend anyways because of the gas situation.
You
But-
can
Use the unexpected revenues though on the permit sales were, I mean, the most I've ever seen.
Well, you can, but you could also say it's water department. It's a water utility. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
you're running from probably the plant there, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
So as of
And
September,
if
you
you
had about
charge somebody-
54,000.
For
To
it.
buy the water, one
Yeah.
with the campsite.
It's a utility expenditure.
Yeah, I suppose
It's like
so.
extending.
How much will that increase the camping fees?
Yeah, I don't know how that is done because you can't really meter it for one day,
I
right?
mean, it makes it more marketable, and that that I think that's our prerogative. But
That would be a smart business decision for us to do.
Where
Yes.
camping fees are currently at the
Well-
level of a site that has power and water.
yeah, are you
But
just
still,
talking
we're
about
gonna
on the
have to-
ridge, or are you talking about on the ridge and the kind of side
Well, I'd like the side ones as
ones
well.
as well? So
I would like that. but
every electric site has a water.
as with anything, the dollar bills are what's gonna tell the story.
Yep.
So, and besides that, just because I'm getting bids, that's not gonna cost us any money.
Oh yeah.
But I do know a guy.
This guy.
We're introduced to
Trencher under his jacket.
Yeah, company called
As
that
of
guy.
September, we had 54,000, so, it'll, I mean, we'll start also receiving, dock fees for too long.
Also, that's something I want to put on the agenda for the next lake meeting is to talk about structures at the lake and increases in dock fees and maybe some other like boating, anything. It's way overdue time for that. Like I said, what they pay for a permanent structure on our shoreline, which significantly increases their value, which they keep telling us over and over again, they pay less than the minimum subscription fee for Netflix a month. And that's the analogy I keep using because that's cheap. So comparatively to other lakes around, we are dirt cheap as well. And I think we need to look at how we can fairly maximize our gains out there.
Do you have like a sheet? Didn't somebody make up one that had all
Yeah,
the fees?
there's a spreadsheet, yeah.
Justin
I've
did.
got it. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I thought there was.
Yeah, I
one.
got
But I can send that to everybody or print it off. Yeah,
Yep.
I still have it.
I moved to adjourn.
Is there a
I'll second.
They moved and seconded to adjourn. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Lake meeting in less than an
Yeah.
hour.
Meeting
That's
is
unheard of.
adjourned.
It's like a Netflix. Maybe all the Squid Games.
Netflix is really charging.
I mean,
I love you. Sure.
That's one.
I keep
We're
forgetting about
outside.
the Squid
You haven't
Game.
watched it yet?
No, I have
That's,
not.
oh, that one?
Any good?
This was my mom.
Kind
And I don't know.
shocked